I have heard reports of missing people after the devastating flooding in the Midwest, sending prayers that they're found safe. There has been at least 2 people confirmed that died, and the flooding is also triggering more evacuations. A lot of people don't realize that this flooding has been caused by the Army Corps of Engineers that were developed or had developed floodplains back in the 60s. Hi everyone, I'm Mary with MaryGreeley News. Thank you very much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Governor Jim Pillen has declared a state of emergency as the Missouri River reaches flood stage along the Nebraska border. The state of emergency is for all counties along the Missouri River in response to forecast flooding along the river that is likely to impact several communities. Heavy rain last week over parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa has resulted in severe flooding. Yeah, and they got more rain coming today, especially in northeast Nebraska and northwest Iowa. A Nebraska National Guard helicopter and crew were deployed to Sioux City, Iowa, to assist with search and rescue efforts there. Pillen's office says the governor is issuing this as a proactive measure to ensure all state resources and funds are available should the need present itself. The proclamation confers authority to the state adjutant general to activate those resources by the way of the Nebraska National Guard. Governor Pillen and Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds issued a joint statement Monday morning urging residents to stay away from the Missouri River. Now is not the time to be on the water. In addition to higher than normal flow, there's also the potential for more debris in the water, which poses a significant risk to anyone on the Missouri. It is best to wait until levels return to normal to resume regular activities. I reported yesterday how there in Missouri they had a dam collapse. Now this is about the Army Corps of Engineers. Under the Flood Control Act of 1944, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers began making modifications to the Missouri River to control the river and allow use of the floodplain. The Corps completed the reservoir system in 1967. The plan had its intended effect. By March of 2005, 95% of the floodplain was developed for agricultural, urban, and industrial use. The Corps' management system, however, prioritized flood control and recreational use over wildlife. Although these modifications allowed substantially all of the Missouri floodplain to be developed, they also eliminated the habitat for certain endangered species. Realizing the environmental impact of the plain, in 1986, Congress authorized the Corps to purchase land adjacent to the river to recreate lost habitats. In 2000, the Fish and Wildlife Service issued a biological opinion recommending several changes to comply with the Endangered Species Act. The Corps, believing that these changes would increase the risk of flooding, declined. Litigation ensued, and the Corps created the 2004 Master Manual to comply with a court order. In a reoperation of Missouri River System litigation, Supplement 2D 1096, 1099, 2004. The 2004 Master Manual no longer ranked priorities and implemented changes intended to restore the Missouri River to a more natural state. Because of the changes that they made back then, there's now been 4 separate major floodings. The Iowa Department of Transportation said late Monday, last night, that it expects to close stretches of I-29 and I-680 Tuesday due to the rising water on the Missouri River. The I-29 stretch that would be closed would be from 25th Street interchange on the north edge of Council Bluffs to the I-29 880 interchange. This is just south of the Missouri Valley. The I-680 stretch would be from the Nebraska border to the I-29 I-60 interchange near Crescent. Once I-29 is closed, a detour will be posted near Loveland to take traffic from I-29 880 interchange east to the I-80 880 interchange, then southwest on I-80 into Council Bluffs. President Biden has approved Governor Kim Reynolds' request for a major disaster declaration, the governor's office confirmed Monday night last night. This comes after strong storms impacted parts of the state beginning on June 16th and is continuing. The declaration authorizes the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the U.S. Small Business Administration, SBA, to provide assistance to Clay, Emmett, Lyon, Plymouth, and Sioux counties. Governor Reynolds says she will continue to request additional counties as more information is collected. A railroad bridge collapsed during the flooding in the Midwestern U.S. that has led to water rescues, evacuations, and at least one death, they're now saying two, and has brought additional misery during a vast and stubborn heat wave. The bridge connecting North Sioux City, South Dakota, and Sioux City, Iowa, collapsed into the Big Sioux River late Sunday, an emergency manager said. Images from the local media showed a large span of steel bridge partially underwater as floodwaters rushed over it. In Clay County, Iowa, the sheriff's office confirmed one person drowned over the weekend as the result of the floods. That death was in South Dakota after driving a utility task vehicle. It evidently rolled down an embankment created by a washed-out roadway, according to the South Dakota Highway Patrol. In Spencer, Iowa, a city of more than 11,000 people and the county seat of Clay County, it was cut off from the rest of the state by flood waters. Hundreds were evacuated to shelters, and there was 383 rescues that were made. Nate Gastelum, 20, said he was at home with his roommate in Spencer when they realized they needed to flee. We started at the street and then we ended up back at the house because we had to keep backing up, Gastelum said. There was just like an eerie feeling, and me and my roommate were like, yeah, we need to go. Gastelum said his basement was flooded and his house would not be habitable for a while. In almost every community impacted, the river crests several feet above record levels from the flood of 1993. The Missouri River is expected to reach moderate flooding in Blair and Plattsmouth as well, with a peak in Blair happening Wednesday evening and Plattsmouth happening Tuesday night. Evidently, this flooding is supposed to continue through the 30th of this month. Entire neighborhoods were forced to evacuate after 13 rivers flooded the region following weeks of rain. That was according to the Associated Press. After 4 years of drought, the state has experienced unusually heavy rainfall this spring. A lot of people are talking about weather modification. Yeah, it's been a really odd year here. According to Governor Reynolds at a press conference, some areas up in the northwest of Iowa got up to 15 inches of rain in over 2 days. In almost every community impacted, the rivers crested several feet above record levels from the floods of 1993, she said. Reynolds declared a disaster for 21 counties, including Sioux City, where drone footage showed roofs and treetops poking above the water, with streets completely submerged. People forget, too, that the water is undrinkable. And what about sanitation? All that raw sewage going into the floodwaters. Yeah, it's definitely a health impact as well. Sending prayers. So what do you think? Do you believe in weather modification? Please put your comments down below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, sending prayers, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.